This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Brad Summers from the Boys and Girls Club. Hi, Brad.
Hi, Nancy.
Busy place to be at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, we have a lot of really fun things going on right now, as we usually do. The staff's in full force, providing a lot of opportunities for the kids, especially our teenage group, that we're really pushing to see what we can really accomplish with them. We're offering some STEM programming with the kids.
And some STEAM programming?
And some STEAM programming. They had the A in there. But, it's been really receptive. The kids have been really energized and having a lot of fun with it. They can actually use, the kids that actually have cell phones and some of these things, they can actually utilize, some of their technologically advanced materials they can use to power some of these things too. So,
and you're beating the national averages because you're having 60 teens show up for something. No other groups, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, civic organization, religious organizations, they're struggling to get teens to participate and do anything, and man, you're blowing those stats right out of the water.
Yeah, our teen nights have been just exploding.
Amazing.
Well, we're doing a lot for them too. It's a place where they can come and it's safe. And they get to hang out with their peers, and very caring staff that we have. The staff that we have, because of the partnership, the great partnership that we have with the public school system, we're able to do some recruitment at the junior high and high school to really kind of, bring the kids into the building. We have full-size gym, so we got a lot of young men that like to come out and play basketball. We've got a lot of kids that just like to come in and read or do some homework in a quiet environment, and use the internet and use our computers, just play a game of pool. There's so many different things that we're trying to do for the kids.
And get a nutritious meal.
And a nutritious meal as well. The kids, they really are receptive to what the staff is putting out for them. The staff at the club is working very hard to listen to what things that they're interested in and to have it come to fruition. So it's been a wonderful initiative trying to find more opportunities for the teens in our community, because this is the one demographic in our population that they choose to be at our organization. They can go home and play video games. They can go home and do a lot of different other things, but after school they choose to come to our organization, and they choose to participate in our mentoring program or participate in our tutoring program, or utilize the resources that we have to their disposal. So it's a wonderful partnership between the teenage population in our community and the club.
Now, you just had a really successful mentoring fundraiser.
Yeah, that's the mentoring fundraisers are it's one of our fun hallmark events of the year. It's not as big as our annual raffle dinner, but it's a time where people who want to support the mentoring program and opportunities for the kids, for the mentors and the mentees in the community to get together, have a fun game of bowling, and enjoy some good food. We have a great partnership with the Thunderbolt Lanes. They're so wonderful to us every year, letting us pretty much take over their building for a night, and all to help out the kids in the mentoring program at our organization. With some federal money and things like that, that has been kind of taken away from some of the programs that we have, especially the mentoring. These fundraisers are becoming more imperative every day. So, it is so wonderful to see so many people step up to help out this program and to help out the Boys and Girls Club. This year we had actually, normally we do it for 1 to 2 hours, or for 2 hours. This year we actually had to expand it to 3 hours.
Wow.
So, we've increased the sponsorships, we've increased the amount of bowlers, and these bowlers that come in are taking times out of their busy schedule with their families and their co-workers, and asking for donations on behalf of the Club Bigs mentoring program at the Boys and Girls Club. So it's so wonderful and inspiring to see so many wonderful, great people out there that are doing so many great things.
And it's like the club. The noise level is so loud and it's so chaotic and crazy, and everyone's enjoying themselves and having a great time.
Yeah, it's amazing we can get any business work done at all there, right?
And then your next big fundraiser is coming up in May.
Yep, May 18th. That's our big one.
Yes.
That's our signature event. We have a few surprises this year.
That's what I hear.
We're gonna do things a little bit differently. We're still gonna have the big raffle. We're still gonna have the meal. We're still gonna have open bar. Some of the side games like the seed game, but we also are gonna do some more fun and interactive things this year.
Okay.
And we're also gonna. We're also our Youth of the Year. Rose Jasmine will be there. She will be giving a speech that she is going to be performing or giving in front of all of her peers down in Southfield, Michigan next week at the Youth of the Year competition for the Boys and Girls Club. And she will be there. Wonderful, wonderful young person, young leader in our community that's going to do some really, really great things. Currently a junior in high school, and once she graduates, she's already got a clear path of what she wants to do, and one of those kids that just kind of knows how to do it and is going to go forward, and but not afraid to ask for help and some guidance.
And Brad, we never have enough time to talk about everything we want to talk about because there's always so much going on at the club. But so we have mentoring, we have homework help, we have programs for teens, we have the wonderful food program, and all of this at a very low cost.
Yeah, $20 a year. For an individual child to come to our facility, and $10 for the school year or $10 for the summer. So it's we do break it up so that if the child only wants to come during the summer, that we're not making them pay for the whole entire year. But we are a nonprofit organization, and we do take donations.
Yes, you do.
But that's it's very low and cost effective to help out the families and family structures, and we want all kids to be able to take advantage of it.
And you have scholarships available too.
Absolutely, and we have quite a few kids that are on scholarship. And there are some wonderful people in our community that do earmark some money for us to be able to provide these scholarships for the kids. So, it's wonderful.
So if you think $20 can't make a difference in your community, think again, it really can. So someone out there listening, send $20 to the Boys and Girls Club and say, hey, I want to sponsor a scholarship for a full entire year.
Yeah, absolutely, that'd be great.
Okay, and next time you come, I'm sure we're going to start hearing about some of the summer programming that's going to be starting. I'm sure you're working on that already.
Yeah, we'll be hitting that hard here mid part of April.
Okay, and stop by for a tour if you want to see about having your young people start going to the club, or call 356-0214.
Yeah, you've always got that number down.
Okay, thank you so much, Brad.
Thank you, Nancy.
I'll be right back with Ted Fines from Habitat for Humanity following these messages. Hi, welcome back. I'm with Ted Fines, who is the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity. Hi, Ted.
Hi.
Talking with our last guest about busy. Well, you aren't shrinking in the busy department.
No, we're pretty busy, even though it's the winter time.
The off season.
The off season, and it allows us to catch up and think of things that are interesting outside the box.
Right, and you're very good at that. And the first thing we want to talk about is the mural contest. Tell me about the mural contest.
The mural contest, I was taking a look at the front of our Restore on Chisholm, 400 West Chisholm, and there was this blank space between our Rethink and the Restore. Right. And it's 17 foot by 14 foot. And I said, wouldn't it be cool if we had a mural there that's going to be permanent, that won't fall down. That's an inside joke. Yeah. And that would just add something to Chisholm and to downtown Alpena. And I know they're always looking at putting banners up about the art. So it's really been a great effort on the Restore's part. Nikki Keys, the manager, and our staff here at our office. So it's been so far so good. So by the end of the month, we hope to have a whole bunch of applicants and applications, and we'll choose it sometime the first week of April.
Perfect. So if somebody wants to get an application, what's the best and easiest way?
Go to our website.
Okay.
habitatnemi.org.
Okay.
Call the office at 354-5555.
Okay.
Or stop by the Restore or the office. But the website is probably the easiest.
Okay. And speaking of the Restore, you're going to be doing some capital improvements.
Yes, and we have applied for a rather large grant with Besser Foundation, and we're hoping to hear soon, and we're going to match it to do some improvements because we do own the building 100% now.
Yay.
And so we have to continue to upgrade it and add to it. And so we're going to add a new entrance to the Chisholm front. So we'll have a back and a front
Perfect.
entrance and exit. Redo the roofs and do some frontage, re-bricking the front and the side. So that'll be more permanent. I mean, it's over 100-year-old building,
Wow.
half of it. So it needs
Well,
a few upgrades.
Yeah, it does, and it looks really good inside. I love how
Yeah.
everything's so much easier to find and
Yeah.
pick out, and
Yeah.
everything looks good, and your staff is always so friendly and wonderful, and the volunteers also.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Now, all of this money that you raise there goes to support the homeownership program.
Yes, and we have two programs, the Home Ownership Program and the HOPE Program, which is Home Ownership Preparation Education. And we mentor our families into the Home Ownership Program where they put in their sweat equity. And again, we have to emphasize that we don't give away homes. They work very
Right.
hard at receiving. And they pay a mortgage every month. And it can be a 20-year, 30-year, but a no-profit mortgage. So it's a very, very low percentage of no percentage at all. And we do apply for grants, so which reduces the cost of the home. And the homes are going, appraising out at $75,000 to $80,000, but with grants, their mortgages are somewhere right around $60,000.
Wow, that's
for
amazing.
a brand new home,
Wow.
3-bedroom, 2 full baths, and they're really a nice addition to the community.
So we need to get some applicants.
Yes, for the home ownership, but we also do a tremendous amount of critical home repairs in the
Okay.
3 counties. In fact, I was talking to Veterans Affairs in each county today, or last week, I should say, and there are monies to tap into for veterans who
Okay.
qualify. And we have many veterans in the 3 counties and who need help, sometimes emergency help. And we also have grants available for improvements, so their life is better down the road because we owe it to them.
Okay, and I see you're having a pastor appreciation breakfast.
Yes, April the 25th, which is
Okay.
a Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning at First United Methodist Church on
Okay.
Ripley. And we're inviting all the pastors and anybody else, staff from all the churches, 70-plus churches.
Wow.
So we hope to get a big response to show our appreciation for the many, many, many churches and congregations who have helped us in the past and hopefully help us in the future. The tremendous amount of volunteers that we get through the churches and
yes.
congregations. And we're going back to our base, Habitat is, here in Northeast Michigan, where we do partner and collaborate with the congregations. And it's not only, we're not asking for money, we're just asking for their help and their expertise and their volunteering. And it's been really a nice response on their part. So in appreciation on April the 25th, we're going to have a nice breakfast. So
Okay,
you're
wonderful.
invited, by the way.
Well, thank you very much. I may well be there.
Okay.
And Apostle Day.
Apostle Builds is it will be a day where we're going to be coordinating a new build, and a church will pick out a room or a dining room or a kitchen, an area specific to what they want to spend the time on.
Ooh, perfect.
So it's called the Apostle Builds Day, and that will be this summer. And we're hoping that we'll have more announcements as we go along through the spring and into the early summer.
Ooh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It will be.
Okay, so Habitat for Humanity House Sponsorships Program.
Well, we're looking for sponsorships. We're
Okay.
going to be approaching businesses to sponsor part of a house, half a house, a whole house. The need for affordable, secure, and safe housing in the 3 counties is incredible. And our biggest challenge is getting the families to apply, the families to get qualified,
Okay.
and the easy part is actually raising the money, getting the volunteers, and building the homes. So we need to reach out to the churches, to the community, to the city fathers, and get the families into our office to fill out the applications. And we'll work with them. We're there to help.
And it is. That's the wonderful part about the program. You're with them every step of the way. You don't
Yes.
just build them a house and say, see ya.
Yeah, see you
know,
later.
you make sure that they know the...
We want them to be involved not only through their home, but the next home and the next home. And this is where you build on faith, you build on the relationships with these families. And I can tell you 10, 20 stories about families that have gone from down here to up here, home ownership.
And you know, home ownership is it's a tricky thing. I mean, I always tell my daughter who just bought home, welcome to home ownership, honey.
Yeah.
You know, there's things that happen. And just
Well,
because
it's a
you
shift
right.
from rental
Exactly.
mentality to
Right.
homeowner mentality also.
Right.
And that is part of the fun of dealing with the families, because it's difficult for a lot of people to grasp what the responsibilities are of home ownership.
Okay, we're out of time, Ted. What's the best way to reach you to talk about all these wonderful things?
989-354-5555, and it'll prompt you either to the Restore or to our office. Hit our new redesigned website at habitatnemi.org, and everything is there. All the applications, all the information, all the pictures, all the donation buttons.
Okay.
Everything's there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Please stay tuned for J. Walter Wright following these messages.
Good morning. I am Jay Walter Wright, Director of Public Information and Marketing for Alpena Community College, and this is the ACC portion of Talk of the Town. With me today is Dawn Stone, Grants Director for ACC, and also a participant in ACC Volunteer Center's Community Ed program, and that's what we're here to talk about today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's great to have you here. You're orchestrating a seminar, a 3-part seminar you were just saying, so why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about that?
Sure. So the Volunteer Center asked me again this year, and as they did last year, to present a grant writing series. It's done during the lunch hour, so that's very convenient for those who are working, and it includes lunch, so that's a nice draw. But the 3-part series is kind of an overview. It's only an hour and a half each session, and it's an overview to go over kind of the nuts and bolts as far as writing grants and what are some things that I've experienced with writing grants, things that work, things that don't, some things that are very easy to miss in grant writing. I was thinking this morning about how much fun it is to manage a grant, and how it can be so exciting to create new projects and be able to deliver things that you wouldn't normally get to do in a day-to-day job. And so it's a fantastic opportunity for me to be able to share some of the grant writing techniques that, that I've learned over the years, to be able to get to the position where you get to write, or get to manage a grant and get to deliver very, very cool stuff. So we started a week ago, and the second session is this week, and it's very well attended. We have, I think, 20 people in it.
Great.
Lots of community members who represent all sorts of different organizations. So, for example, we have Friends Together, we have some township folks, some firefighters, a lot of different, a broad range of typically nonprofit organizations who are looking at how to fund their projects and how to fund their mission. So it's probably the most valuable thing about it is the networking and the ability to talk to other people kind of in the same situation, because working under grants and having that be one of your sole or potentially your sole funding can feel very lonely and very challenging, because there's an end date. And so how do you manage all of the things that you want to do with someone else's money and meet what they were trying to accomplish as well, and then be able to accomplish what you want to do for our community. So yeah, it's been really fun. We start with, where's the money? Clearly the most challenging component, and that's where the networking comes in, because making sure that you're eligible for a grant can be very tricky as well. So a lot of people who do research on grants can find fantastic opportunities, but then find out that they're not eligible. So having 20 people from basically 20 different entities in the room, they can share that information. So they may not be eligible themselves, but they can share the opportunity with others who are eligible.
Maybe they saw something here, they weren't eligible for that, but somebody else might be, so it's like a referral.
Exactly. And the other cool thing about it is that they actually were working right now on how to collaborate on grants. The funders, it seems, that they have transitioned to more of a requirement of collaboration. I think typically funders think they're going to get more for bang for their buck, so to speak, if they have a lot of different entities that work together to create a project. So that's been extremely valuable with this session.
So what are the most popular areas being funded right now?
Oh goodness. Well, what's also very cool about the class is that the range of attendees is so significant that it's real hard to come up with, everyone's funding, children's services, or everyone's funding, health related, projects. It's so across the board, which makes it really fun, really fun. But there are some consistencies in writing grants. Of course, number one is following the directions. and that's not always easy or intuitive to remember to go back and, oh my gosh, on page 2 in paragraph 6 it says that you have to also include this document. That really, from maybe your perspective, doesn't mean a whole lot, but it means something to them. And if you don't include that document that it just barely mentioned in the grant application, that will make you not get the funds. So yeah, it's very cool. So
being thorough and being organized is important.
Extremely. Honestly, grant writing is tedious, challenging, very time consuming most of the time, and you have to be very detail oriented. A lot of people think, oh, I'm not a writer. I can't write a grant because I'm not a writer. And you don't have to be a writer.
Right. You don't have to write essays or a book or anything.
No, you have to be able to clearly outline the problem, the solution, and how you're going to measure that you solved the problem. That's really what it comes down to.
The measuring is always that challenge.
It is challenging.
How do you measure some outcomes that don't have a physical result?
Right, exactly, which is another opportunity for collaboration in the class, because it's not always intuitive. It's not something that you would think of at the onset of a project, how you're going to measure it. So when writing a grant, you have to do that. And so sharing some of the techniques that others have used to measure their progress and measure their impact is very valuable.
Well, great. We're almost out of time.
Okay.
People will be seeing this after the second seminar that you've put on, but you mentioned that it might be coming back again sometime. Why don't you quickly talk about that?
So when I ran it last year, it was over-enrolled and a little bit overwhelming for me, but that's okay, because, feet to the fire kind of a thing. And this year we are at our limit, and so if there is a need for it next year, I will be willing to participate and be willing to deliver it again.
Great.
So
people should check with the Volunteer Center and our Community Ed program to see if you're scheduled in the future.
In the spring,
Okay, well that's all our time, Dawn.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you for joining me.
My pleasure.
And thank you for joining me. Once again, I am Jay Waltwright, Director of Public Information and Marketing for Alpena Community College, and this is Talk of the Town.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.